All right, welcome back. Episode 92. We have Spencer, we have Josh, we have me. We all made it.
What are we going to talk about today?
What
Jody?
you want to talk about? What happened there?
I think my cord's about done.
I had to replace that, by the way, because last week I used your cord, so you didn't have a cord. Because the other cord went
kaput too?
Yeah. So I just went and pulled that one out, so I need to go purchase some more.
Man.
A lot of wear and tear we put on these things.
Apparently
so.
Yeah. I don't know about that. I know we didn't do that.
Yeah, I don't think so. That's
Yeah.
brand new. All right, but
I don't think it's brand new. I think it's brand old.
what topics across the board are we going to talk about today, Jody?
Well, this first thing, before we get into it, check us out on YouTube.
Okay.
Same name.
tomorrow.
3 Wheels, No Direction. Podcast, maybe. Is it podcast?
I don't think
I ain't
so.
got a clue.
Or is it just 3 Wheels, No Direction?
I ain't been on YouTube.
Either
yet.
way, surely you can find it, right?
Maybe.
If you see our logo. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Check out our Armadillo.
210? 210? Where you at now?
Something like that, yeah. It's crazy. All right, I want to talk about, I don't know if y'all have seen this, but it's
Somebody just tuning in and says, check out our... They're like, what
Is
are
that-
they
Did you say what episode this was?
video.
92?
92.
At 92?
Yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah. Identical twin sisters go viral for speaking in sync while sharing their mother's scary carjacking experience. Now, these women are from Australia. The Australian identical twins, Bridget and Paula Powers, spoke with 7 News Queensland about how their mother was caught in an armed carjacking in Queensland, Australia on Monday, April 21st. During their on-camera interview, they spoke in sync, finishing one another's sentences and answering the interviewer's questions with the same words.
So this is like the day after Easter.
Yeah, so it was strange. When I saw it, I was like, this can't be right.
It's
Because
the twin telepathy.
have you not seen it? I figured you would see it.
I haven't seen it.
All right,
Are you thinking they're part of it? Is it a rehearsed answer?
Well, I thought it was at first, but then now, but I also researched and said they were also the subject of a 2016 Good Morning Britain segment in which Piers Morgan laughed at their synchronized answers. So apparently they do this all the time.
Just how they chat.
That's the way they answer questions. Apparently, since they do it the same way, then they just speak and it happens to be the same as their sister.
Okay.
Is that not strange?
It's wild.
You want to hear it?
Yeah.
Let's hear it. Let's see.
Should have let Spencer hit the button.
Should have.
And we heard this big bang. We said, oh no, another car accident. So we drop everything and we went running out the front. We seen Mum running out from the house up there. And then the other cars were pulling up and checking to see if the person was okay. And one guy, he was up there with our mum, and he went up there and he was coming back down towards us, and he goes, run, he's got a gun. And our heart started to pound, and I said, oh Mum, where's Mum? And poor Mum was stuck up there, but apparently our brave Mum, she goes, are you all right?
This is highly annoying.
It is.
Face, and he goes, I'll shoot you. She goes, hey, I'm here to help.
And Mum distracting him to make him look the other way, and he looked the other way.
This can't be real.
Mum ran into the bush behind the fence. And the guy goes to her, I'll find you and I'll shoot you. All I was thinking about when we were running,
I hope he doesn't
fire.
fire.
Yeah, we were so blessed.
How close to him do you think you were?
Well, see, he was up there and we were past
It's not real. It can't be.
This just sounds like an echo.
It sounds like she's trying to listen and trying to guess what word she's about to say, and she's just really good at guessing the words her sister's about to say.
Oh,
Say what you will. There's a video, but I don't know.
Maybe the video would help me out.
I think I need the video for context, but I will say with it in our headphones, with it playing a left and a right, I mean, I was like, felt like a ping pong ball.
It was
bouncing
very
around.
annoying.
Is everybody okay? In this
Yes.
scenario, everybody's
Yeah.
okay.
And I don't know if the person got caught or not. But that doesn't matter. We're talking about them, right?
No, I was just saying. Whew,
Could you imagine if that's real? Just imagine a family dinner.
It's real.
if
that's real.
It's real.
real.
Who says that? Internet?
all the
Internet. I'm your echo now. I'm gonna try to.
I'm gonna try and finish what you're saying.
Okay, you go ahead. And
Go
try.
ahead.
Finish what I was
Finish
saying.
what I'm saying.
That's exactly what it sounds like.
It would be hard to listen to on a regular basis.
I think that's what's happening.
Welcome to our family reunion. They started slurring at some point.
At some point,
It was really weird.
really weird.
It was strange.
They couldn't tell what words they were about to say.
Well, one of them was taking the lead,
Right.
and then it's the one on the left, which would be your right.
How are we going to know?
She was like trying to. They weren't. She wasn't looking at her or nothing like that. But it was like she's listening to what she's saying, and
Like,
then she's
whoa.
catching up.
Yeah,
yeah. But it was weird.
I think it's fake.
I don't know that it's fake. I think it would be. It was intentional.
I think it's a learned behavior.
It was intentional. I'll say that.
I would say, why are you doing it?
it's
One
a
of you
learned
talk.
behavior.
One of you talk.
Listen.
How about let's talk to the mom because she was the one that experienced it. Why are we talking to the twins?
I know.
Because they echo each other. That's why.
Because that's what makes
Gets
the
the
story.
views. Yeah. Oh. Who cares about the mom? She's got carjacked. It don't matter. You just want to see the two twins echo each other over and over and over again.
I'm with Spencer though. That would be exhausting if that was an everyday occurrence. You came home to hear about their day from school.
No, my goodness.
That'd be terrible.
Yeah.
There
I
was
guess
a
that's
teacher.
all
There
they
was a
do.
teacher. The teacher was teaching.
If they were on the show with Piers Morgan in 2016, then they're known for doing this. I don't know why they would be on that show.
It's got
if not.
to be a learned behavior. I'm telling you.
Woo! I know. Supposedly, twins can finish each other.
Like now, if you put them in
Same.
if you put them in separate rooms, interviewed them separately, and they said the exact same thing, that would be something.
Yeah.
That would be rehearsed. That's what I
But
would
you
say.
did say that they went like they would a few times. There was the whole sentence that they said. They're just repeating what their mom told them, and that was the weird thing. You know?
It was a unique sound clip. I'm glad
like
you
it.
had the audio.
But if you've got a brother or a sister and you're telling the story, you'd be like, either you talk or I'll talk. It'd be like, hey, I got this.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Just the 30 seconds of you finishing my sentences was annoying enough. I was looking about.
Look, let me just
Jody,
say a
we're
little-
at the end of this.
Yeah, a little
We're
bit
done.
that I know, and then you can butt in and tell your side of it. So
I'm
Can we do that
talking
again?
now.
Can we do it again?
No.
Had a triplet in there. Podcast turns off now.
So I thought I was going to try episode 92.
I just mumbled that one.
We know, Jody. We can hear.
We know, Jody. We can hear.
That's all I got.
Get that out of here.
That's the end of that.
I think that's about as fake as Katy Perry going to space.
Hey, what is the deal with that?
Oh, she's getting roasted.
Why is everybody coming for them so hard?
All right,
That's what
I
I want to know.
Have you seen all the videos, Josh?
No. I've seen
most of them.
a video or two. That's it.
All right, so think back. What do you remember seeing? Just like the takeoff or them up in space?
Oh,
or
no.
when they got
All
back?
I've seen is landing stuff.
Okay.
The landing stuff. I've seen one isolated clip. I don't even know if it was manipulated or not of them in orbit while they're up there, and like their hair's kind of floating but not floating. She has a daisy or something, and Katy Perry has a daisy in her hand. I saw that clip, and I saw the door, where they're going to open the door, and it like opens before Jeff Bezos gets to it.
That's it. That is it. I believe everything was fine until I saw the door open, and then they told him to shut it, and then Jeff comes over there with his tool and over there and like turns it like he did something, and then it opens up. I'm like, something's up with this. And then you start hearing, well, the capsule's not dark from the re-entry, and from the video inside, they didn't land as hard as what it looked like from outside. And then when they're up in space, nobody's hardly looking out the windows. They're looking at each other or looking at the camera and playing with the daisy or playing with the little stuffed animal and stuff. So you start putting all this stuff together, and you're like, did they even go?
I don't know. Are you questioning it?
No, I think they went, but it does make you wonder when you start seeing. I mean, is some of it staged? Who knows? That part was staged definitely when he was supposed to open up the door.
Was it like a ceremony? I wonder if they were like trying to make it like a ceremonial thing to make Jeff Bezos part of it.
Oh, I'm
That's
sure.
kind of what I'm
Like
thinking. Is
being-
they actually jumped in, made sure everybody was all right. Like, hey, we don't want to open the door on some tragic scene here. You know, somebody whacked their head and was injured.
But then you start seeing the things where they're saying like, because of the pressure on most of these capsules, it opens from like
It's
on
got to
the-
be open from the outside.
and it opens to the outside. It doesn't open inward. Mm-hmm. And then they showed like a jetliner. The door on a jetliner is like 6 inches thick, and then on this door it's like 2 inches. So when it does open up, it just looks flimsy where it just flaps, almost like a screen door on a trailer. You know?
In the middle of a windstorm.
Exactly. Yeah. So
It did look like a tumbleweed was going to
yes,
blow by
and
in
it's
the
like
background.
so you're starting to think, what
Had
is it?
It's almost a whistle in the background.
And then somebody started talking about the windows, the way they're designed. They can't design them like that because it can't hold the pressure the way. And so you're like, so what am I supposed to believe?
Is it real or is it not real?
I'm still not convinced we went to the moon.
I know you've been holding on to that one for a long time now.
Still not convinced.
You need to let go of that.
Why can't we go back?
I don't think there's a need.
I think there is. Just to prove we can.
Spencer says, "Do it."
Do it.
So, do you have a problem with
I just
the
think-
current one, not the when they landed, being like spotless and clean, where the SpaceX ones look like they've been tattered and war torn?
Well, I don't know because this one didn't go as high up as the SpaceX ones do.
Yeah, they're saying on the re-entry, you don't have as much. You're not going through that burn. You're not going 30,000 miles an hour, 17,000
you're
miles
not-
an hour on re-entry, causing a big
I
fireball.
mean, this whole event that they were a part of was what, 13 minutes long, 11 minutes long,
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
like that. And so that was up and down. So it's not like a
And you don't need all those tiles for re-entry, the
right.
the heat shield.
Yeah.
So, no. So I
So
understand all
that
that.
part's not driving you wild when you look at the pictures.
No,
of
but
it.
I think it should be a little bit dirty.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you think? Something.
I think there should be some bugs or a bird or something,
something
to hit it.
shouldn't be spotless.
Yeah.
It is. I agree that I don't think it did. It doesn't make the journey that the SpaceX rockets are taking.
Did
or
you see
whatever.
the SpaceX one when it landed back in the water and there was like no splash or anything and the water just kind of stayed still? You see that video?
Spencer?
Did
You
it
calling
happen?
that one into question too?
I'm questioning it.
You're saying throw them all on there?
Did we not talk about this?
I don't think we did.
That was me and Amanda.
I was going to say I don't think we discussed this.
It's your
one.
other podcast.
Are you thinking?
Yeah,
are-
we went the whole, and I went through it and said, I'm not denying that they were at the space station, that Elon Musk didn't send his rocket up there with SpaceX to get him, and they came back. I'm just saying.
that goes back to my moon point. Why did if it's
Can I finish my point
no?
first?
'Cause
He
it's
does
crucial.
this every time. I had like 15 more seconds, I'd be done.
This is crucial to the moon point. If we could go to the moon, and it's just so easy, which I'm not saying it's like easy. If we could go to the moon, if we did go to the moon, I don't know. But why is it so hard to go to the space station, which is like halfway to the moon?
Because you're
Like it's so difficult.
Well, it was only difficult because the last administration didn't want to use Elon Musk to go up there. Are you talking about getting the two? I
Yeah,
call them
I'm saying
survivors?
why did it
Yeah.
take forever to get them back?
That's what they're saying.
Oh, that was a political stunt.
that was
Yeah.
political. They said
okay.
since Elon Musk was backing Trump, that they weren't going to allow him to use SpaceX to go through.
At what point does human life override
Oh, I know.
politics?
I know.
Is my question there.
I know, but back to
Not
when.
at this point yet. You hadn't found it yet.
So when they went to the space station, got the two astronauts, brought them back. I believe all that. What I was saying is once it landed in the ocean and you looked at it, the water was so clear, and the image that they had getting all this, and then all of a sudden they say, "Oh, look, there's dolphins," and two dolphins pop up beside everything. I'm like, there is no way this is real. I'm just saying it. Look, I'm not saying it's not fake. I'm just saying it looked fake.
Yeah.
That was very strange because all of a sudden they're talking about everything and they're like, "Oh, look,
There's
it's
a
two-
dolphin."
It's dolphins."
I did see that part.
Yeah. So
Kind of sketchy.
I don't know. I don't know what to believe and what not to believe anymore.
So the first
kind of on the
article
fence.
that somebody shared with me was written by a dad, and his argument was against the all-lady crew, and it wasn't that he was against women, is he was against that if you promote these ladies who were not actually astronauts, were not actually scientists, that's actually belittling the ladies who have done the work, who are legitimate astronauts, who are legitimate scientists.
Absolutely.
That was the guy who wrote the article. It was his point, is he said, I'd rather my daughters aspire to be an actual astronaut, a astrophysicist, or whatever the case may be, than just to ride in the rocket.
Yeah.
You want to do something? Have a lottery. Pick 6 women out of the country. Send them up there. Don't send 6 multi-millionaires.
Yeah.
You know, because it was.
Well, I'm glad they got the money. I'm not opposed to them having the money. If they want to pay to ride it, That's fine.
But my point being is like everything that they stand for is like the environment and all this kind of stuff, and then women's rights. But how much carbon did you put in the atmosphere when you took that baby up there? Huh?
Took your hunk of plastic, caught it on fire, and said, "Let's go."
And who was the first one out? It was Jeff Bezos' girlfriend. You know, and that was it. Well, I can't say that. That when we're going trying to debunk this kind of stuff, they were saying a certain surgeries that you have that you can't go up in space because of that, because of the pressure.
Okay.
Yes, so that was another thing.
Okay. I hear what you're saying.
And I
I'm
would think,
picking up what you're putting down.
and this ain't. I mean, I know William Shatner and all those went. Was it last year, or the year before?
Yeah, Michael Strahan.
They didn't wear helmets or anything like that, right? Or did they?
I don't think so.
I don't understand that part right there. If you're sending me up to,
Is
to
this
space.
Are they doing? I'm sorry, I talked
No.
over to you. Is this like part of what astronauts do in the training process? They have planes that go up to where you can get a moment or two of 0 G's.
Yeah.
Is that what we're talking about? Essentially, this is.
Well, I mean, you can get 0 G's a couple thousand feet off the ground. All you got to do is go up in the plane and then just let it nosedive for a second, and you're 0 G's.
And so, are we talking about just basically a glorified version of this? Is that what we're looking at?
That's what it seems like. I mean,
Because I think in the plane you're just getting that 0 G's,
For like
but you're
1
not
second.
getting the visual because
Yeah.
you're basically in a compartment.
You're
So
still
getting
in the atmosphere.
Yeah, it's
or-
more of an experience of weightlessness than anything.
Right.
They're getting the view and everything.
the view.
Yeah, that they didn't really look at because they were too busy looking
But
at the camera showing them.
If they're getting the view, that means they
flowers.
have to be above the out of the atmosphere, right? Therefore,
that's what-
they would have to have the reentry.
Did you see how far up they look like in that picture?
No, I haven't looked
mean-
too much into it actually.
They look like they was way up there.
And so then,
looked like
then
a
the
lot further
reentry,
down.
the reentry question comes back because if gravity's truly working, then I mean, what is it? 9.1881 something meters per second. Something when they're falling back down to Earth. I'm thinking you're going to be moving, and there's going to be a little bit of. It should be clean, like we were talking about earlier. Should be a little bit of char on there, like a nice marshmallow.
And where did they land at?
Area
Pretty
51.
much the
Texas.
same. Wasn't it the same
Yeah.
spot that they took off at?
I think it's essentially.
How's that work?
So it wasn't just an arc; it was just one of those rides at Six Flags where you just go straight up and drop back down.
It was an arc, but I'm just saying, how do you end up, a mile further than where you took off at? I don't know.
How far off are they really? I mean, is it 90 miles? Is it?
Well, it can't be too far because Jeff Bezos was there when they landed.
I mean, if he's in a helicopter, though, he can get 90 miles in 11 minutes, maybe.
Maybe so.
Can you?
I don't know.
Sounds reasonable.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I'm speaking about stuff I don't know. I mean,
You're
so-
just
That's what makes it
saying
fun.
Yeah, I'm just saying from the outside looking in, it's all this stuff is weird to me.
you want to
but-
see some more details. You want. So, did you see the Wendy's
Look.
post?
Yeah, I did.
Yes.
Did you see?
But if that door hadn't been opened before he opened it, none of this I wouldn't be saying a word. The only thing I would question is them talking about how they love the environment, but they're going to pollute it going up there for a view. That's the only thing I would say.
But being as you saw the flimsy door, you're questioning it.
Yeah, I am questioning.
Okay.
The Wendy's post was funny.
The Wendy's post was.
I think Wendy's always wins on Twitter though.
Yeah.
Was it totally disrespectful? Somebody said it was disrespectful.
I don't even remember what they said.
I don't either.
Can we send
but
her back? That was the question.
That's it. Yeah.
I don't know that it was necessarily.
Why would you even put that though?
I thought it was meant in jest. It was just. I didn't know Katy Perry had a bunch of haters. I didn't know that.
Wendy's is one of them. She must be sponsored by McDonald's.
Where was Taylor Swift in all this? She needed to be that seventh one. You know, somebody needed to be kicked out, and Taylor Swift needed to be in there. Was she asked?
I don't know.
Is she too highfalutin for that?
How did these people go?
Did she
just get asked?
Did she say space? Psh.
I go every weekend.
Yeah. I don't know. How do these people get picked?
I don't know how they got picked.
Got to be friends with Jeff, I guess.
I'm going to assume we know how his girlfriend got picked. She said, "Hey, honey, I'd like to go."
Would you send your wife up there though? I wouldn't. I'm just saying, why would Jeff do that?
I don't know. If you're invested in it, don't you think it's safe?
But it's still risk.
And he's been in it before.
I know.
Didn't he go up that first time?
Such a risk, though.
Yeah.
So who opened the door the first time?
I don't know.
Yeah, if he was inside.
If he was inside, who could open the door?
I guess he did, since you.
Because
could
I
open
was
it from
watching
inside.
I watched the other one. What happened to him?
Which one?
Charles, was it Branson? Is that Virgin Mobile?
Oh yeah.
Because the two of them were the ones that were racing it out at that point.
See, and he's
And
got an airplane type.
He did it first, right? I don't remember.
Yeah, the
which
Virgin
one.
Mobile one was first.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I mean, they were days or weeks apart when they first happened.
But he's like, hey, we don't need a capsule. We
He did
just
his
have this-
completely different.
Yeah.
Put me some wings on
And
this
that's
joker
great.
and let's go.
Yeah, get these guys up there and do it. Innovation. Figure it out. We'll
Glide
figure
them
out
back
which is the
down.
best way. Yeah, and I think his is the better way. Glide them down.
But I hadn't seen him I hadn't seen any media coverage in my world about
Yeah, I
it.
wonder what's going on with that.
Is he
I
still
don't know.
sending folks up?
I doubt it, or we'd hear about it. Wouldn't you think?
I'm going to look it up and see while y'all are talking.
Because think
I
about
don't
it
think
like
there's
that.
a need. Why would you?
The year
Goes
we
back
live
to the
in.
moon stuff.
Yeah.
What's the need?
So we went from when the Wright brothers got their little plane off the ground, right?
1902.
And then 50 years later, we're like taking
Let's send some
atomic.
turboprops.
We got atomic bombs that we're sending out to places. With a lot of advancement in 50 years.
Right.
Now you're telling me we still need the parachutes to keep these people from crashing, this year.
Not according to Elon. Get them caught.
Yeah.
Little chopsticks.
I'm just saying.
It's crazy. I would appreciate, I'm a big aviation guy and I like the planes. I think they're called the Cirrus jets that have the parachute in the back. That way if the engine fails, you just
I like that idea.
You pull the red plug in the back and then you just float down. I mean, your plane's
That's
still
a bad ride.
Your
down,
plane's
though.
still totaled, but you don't death is not nearly as.
But how bad is it for you being in the cockpit and you're facing
If you
straight
own
down?
if you own it, you're just like, well, here goes many millions of dollars. Insurance, come on, baby.
Hey, I'd be good with it though. That's a great idea.
I think it's cool.
His name is Richard, not Charles.
Richard. That's it.
I got that wrong. Virgin Galactic is the space company. It completed 12 successful flights, but since summer of 2024 is paused any space travel. He is paused.
No reason.
To work on Delta is what it says. I guess that's their craft.
Is that the next one?
It says paused any space travel to work on Delta, according to Bloomberg.
Delta's gonna be.
But I
next.
thought that was going to be a moneymaker for you. Would you just keep it going?
I think that may be
Delta's going to be.
Is that the craft?
I don't know.
Is Delta what they call the craft? Maybe
I don't know.
maybe it needed
Updating.
maybe the
Delta
design.
craft.
It couldn't keep on making continuous flights there. That would be the scary part for me with the SpaceX and the reuse of stuff is, hey, that's still very experimental in this stage. Is everybody else has been riding on a rocket that's brand new in the past, and now we're like, all right, you're on flight 9. We've never flown flight 9 before. We hope it works. We're on 10. I would be a little nervous about any of that kind of stuff. That'd make me a little iffy.
But you can't call yourself an astronaut
No.
just because you went up there for 11 minutes. Sorry, Katie.
No.
I do agree with that.
You're an astronaut.
That's also what I both say. That's funny.
Because that's you're disrespecting a lot of people that's put a lot of time and effort into their craft, I guess you could say.
Yeah, their
Education and skills and know-how.
I mean, do y'all remember watching any of those videos from where they were teaching kids? I never saw it as a kid, but it was material they were sending back to kids. Like, what it was like in space, where they're washing their hair, brushing their teeth.
Oh yeah,
And there's a female that she did a lot of those.
I think it was the one that was stuck in space this last time. Was it not her?
Yeah, she did some this last time too. I've seen others in older versions of that too, I thought.
But we were talking about with Katy Perry and her Daisy that she took. Thank you. That she took up to space. They're also like, all right, so where was the Daisy at when they took off? And then how did it make it back down, spotless, still standing, all that stuff. With the G forces. How many G's is that taking off?
A lot.
And they got their cameras, their little cell phones and all that stuff. Where you put your cell phone at? Can you have stuff like that
The
inside?
center console.
Is that what it is? Is that what was that in the center?
I don't know.
Is that something to prop on and put your hands on as your feet are up in the air? I was wondering.
It's just a hub.
Yeah.
You just hold on. It's a strange idea. Would you go? All right, let's take all the criticism away. Somebody gave you a free ticket. It's paid for. Would you go?
Absolutely.
I think it depends on who I'm with.
Like
do
the
it.
company
If
that's
they-
in the capsule or the company that's launching you?
No, I'm talking about like it's going to be you, Jody, Nancy Pelosi, that type of thing. No, I don't want to go. I don't want to go with Nancy.
Okay. So
I think if I could go with people I know, that'd make it a lot better.
you get 6 of your best buds, they get to go with you.
Yeah.
Would you put your whole family in there?
No.
You'd say, okay, hey, we can't all go.
No.
All right.
I say that, but I might back out. I don't know.
I'm saying it's your whole
Is it-
family.
I'd go.
Could your whole family get fit? Like your I know your immediate family could, but could you get out to the peripheral enough where you're like, all right,
No,
at least if we go, we all go together.
yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't take that chance.
Okay.
I'd go.
You'd go.
I wouldn't put my family in there. I don't think.
Would Rebecca want to go?
I don't know. Probably not.
I don't think Misty would care to go.
I don't think so.
I think she'd be like, I'll pass.
I'll go.
I'd be afraid
Thanks.
when I got back. I'd be, I'm ready to go back. And no, I wouldn't be able to, because 11 minutes ain't long.
That's
That'd
the
be a
whole
cool
ride.
ride, though. Yeah.
But that's the whole ride. You're not even up there. I mean, from,
could
the,
you
from
not-
the time they say go to the time you say thud at the end. I like hitting this table, apparently.
And today you were hitting the table.
But that's 11 minutes. So you're up there. What's the amount of time you're in the weightlessness?
Could they not do like in the world of VR stuff, you take VR, you add it to the slingshots they have at the beach. Same thing. You know what I'm saying?
That'd be a scary ride, wouldn't it?
You get slung,
You get slung
you get
up and you got
slung
that
up,
VR on there.
You're looking around,
Yeah.
you see it for like a half a second, and you're back down.
How many VR goggles would get lost?
You have duct tape into their head.
Woo! That would be
Like,
fun.
is that not the same? I mean, you could feel the same weightlessness, get the semi of the same views.
We could do it in the airplane ride we were talking about a
Right.
minute ago.
So, I mean, what's the point? Is this just a millionaire's amusement park?
It
At this
is.
point, a billionaire's amusement park.
There is stuff to be learned. I think they'll definitely learn stuff like Jody mentioned along the way. They'll master a lot of this stuff, and those companies that are for profit will make it affordable. That's for certain. They'll start making this thing. So
It'll be. They won't even talk about it. There'll be so many going up all the time.
It'll
10
lose.
years from
Yeah,
now. Yeah.
It'll lose some appeal when
Well,
it's not.
just like the
Do you think
space.
they'll use it for travel? Like people just go across the world quicker than airplanes can?
Maybe.
They've talked about. That's what Alon has talked about. That he would like to see it.
Like instead of a 12-hour flight to London, it's now a 3-hour rocket ship ride.
Yeah,
What-
if you
what
can
about
get
like
the- just on the outskirts
on
of
the-
space and then dive it
Dip
back in? That's what they've talked about travel in that sense. I've seen articles about that.
Eventually.
Think we should-
Sky's the limit.
I mean, you're apparently not. There's no limit now.
What is the sky?
What do you say now? If you can bust out of the sky now, what do you say?
I'd take that before I take that train that goes 300 miles an hour.
The bullet train?
Yeah.
I'd take the bullet train.
Would you?
I think so.
I don't think so.
Whew. I bet it's intense.
It'd be fun.
I would ride the bullet train. I would be intimidated. I'm not gonna lie. I mean,
If something
there'd be a-
happened, though, I mean, it's like instantaneous death, right? So maybe I would.
Yeah, I mean,
You might get, that might be all that you get out before you die, but
That's what.
Oh, dead.
What was he gonna say?
The world may never
That
know.
might be better. I don't know, because if you, re-entry,
No.
and you burn up.
That idea
think
of
it gets hot
re-entry
inside?
sounds
I don't know.
supposedly not.
I would hope not.
Ask Katie. I don't know. She knows.
It's climate controlled. I'm gonna have to go look at the thickness of this door. That will intrigue me now that you've said that it's just a couple inches thick. It's like 2 or 3 inches thick. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, well, just rewatch it when he does open it, and when it flings, it does fling like a screen door to a trailer. It does. I kid you not.
Jody said there's
I've heard too many talking about people having a good time at a party, like a screen door on a windy day in a trailer park. Like, that's how you describe somebody. They're just loosely flying around.
Oh,
That's funny.
Man.
But it's going both ways though, because we had the submarine back in the day, so we're going down and going up. Why don't we just stay on the surface?
now I will go up in space before I'll go down to the Titanic. I am not going down in that little sub. Would you go down that sub?
No. I'd go to space before I'd go down. The idea of being crushed underwater sounds intimidating.
It'd be just as fast.
I don't think so.
I think I'd.
The crush is instantaneous.
I still feel like I'm going to feel it. I don't know.
You really think
That sounds bad.
It's instantaneous. The pressure difference is instantaneous. When you hit that pressure, boom, you're crushed.
Okay. I'd still rather be in space.
I've seen the mock videos of.
But don't you think you're going to know that pressure's coming a little more than the space oops?
Yeah, but if you're in space,
Are you talking about you hear that crash?
Yeah, you're starting to hear like,
Uh-oh.
Well, I mean, if you're on an airplane, you see a window duct tape shut. It's still the same feeling. This might not be good.
oh, that's not duct tape. Is that duct tape?
You get into the little spaceship and the door's a screen door. I mean,
It's industrial duct tape. Don't worry. We bought the good stuff.
don't video that. I saw a video that literally one window was literally like the airplane taped shut.
Was that in Brazil?
I don't remember where it was at, but the pilot came back there and said, "Please don't videotape that."
We have a strict no recording policy.
Yeah, it was. Travel's wild.
Oh,
Think about it. 100 years ago, none of this existed.
That's what I'm saying. Technology has come so fast, but I still don't understand why we're using parachutes to land.
everybody's still using the parachute to land.
We're so dependent on parachutes.
I wonder who came up with a parachute. That's a good idea.
They said we got to slow this.
Oh, I know the guy. I think he jumped off the Eiffel Tower. You say Eiffel?
Apple.
Eiffel Tower. Tire. Eiffel Tower.
Get that apple tire out of here.
Yeah. Anyway, one designer, I think he had one of those things, kind of like wings.
The
He jumped
squirrel
off.
suit. You seen those?
Well,
It's
this is
the
way
same
before the squirrel suit. We're talking about like
This is the invention of
1920.
the parachute.
This is
Yeah.
the mock
Is it
squirrel
the
suit.
parachute or he's like self wings for people? Something to glide down and it didn't work and he died.
Ooh.
Look it up. Fact.
Look it up. That's. What about those guys that do the squirrel suits? Would you do that? Where they jump out?
If I was
like-
younger, absolutely. Now I wouldn't brush the treetop of a pine like they do.
Like where they dive off those high mountains up in the Andes and fly down into the valleys or wherever,
And you scrape,
whatever mountain range.
You scrape
that
the
is.
side of that
I
mountain.
don't know if
flying by.
I don't know if I get used to that that falling feeling in your gut that you get
Till the pressure gets.
until you catch a little bit of pressure right there.
What happens if your suit rips? I mean, you're just toast.
They have parachutes too. That's how they get down to the ground is the parachute.
Okay.
They just use the.
Can you get to it fast enough, though? That's the question. As you're twirling out of control because of the rip in your squirrel suit.
I don't know.
You're trying to put one arm down, but you're swinging in circles now.
I like the guy that video them. They got some guys like on the side of the mountain. They're just waiting for them, and they do.
Man, just-
Let's get caught up there. Joe.
we can't even sit still, much less fly in the air. Oh, I wouldn't try the squirrel suit. I don't think I would. I don't have the physique.
I still want
for
to try
that
the
anyway.
iFly, the little indoor skydiving.
I would do that. I'd love to do that.
Oh, I mean, what's the risk in that? There's no risk.
Unless the
Break
net,
a fingernail?
The net breaks and you get sucked into the fan.
Freak accident.
Somebody's fingernail got too sharp and cut the net.
I guess as a bigger guy, there's a risk you jump and the van doesn't lift you up. You just
That would be unfortunate. Guys kind of holding on to you.
Bungee jump? Would you bungee jump?
I don't think so.
I wouldn't.
I would have a few years ago. I would not now.
I don't think I would now.
I saw the video where the guy forgot to strap the bungee cord to the person. And when they
just jumped.
went, they just, pretty much jumped.
Well,
Have you seen the new thing that's trending in that extreme sports where there's no net? I mean, not no net.
no rope. It's
No
just a
rope.
net.
It's just a net.
Yeah, I've seen that.
They put you in a harness. Have you seen it, Jody? And they swing you out over it, and they kind of line you up. The guys.
Kinda.
It's like a claw
Or they
machine.
do.
The guys going.
I think
But they go, oh, a little left,
2 inches to the left.
yeah.
And so there's a net that has a long sock underneath it, and then there's another final net. And when you drop, you hit it, and it kind of slows you down and then puts you into the other net at the bottom. You have to, but
I'm not doing
they
that.
swing you out there, and then another guy just pulls the pin, and you fall. I mean, it's all obviously just free fall.
What do we do for excitement?
Well,
It's
why do we need
the
that much
adrenaline.
excitement?
It's never
adrenaline.
enough. Never enough.
After
gotta-
you've done that, what can you do? There's no
Climb Mount Everest and jump off.
with nothing.
Just jump.
Is it one you could jump off of? I don't even think
Mount
was
Everest?
designed that
No,
way.
no.
No.
I don't think it has any
Death. It's
Oh.
called death.
I think you just laying on the ground right beside.
There's not a big
I don't think
enough
of
peak.
Yeah, I think
there
there's
on
a
either
cliff
side.
right there.
Yeah.
I tried.
You might roll. You might roll for a little ways. I
For a
don't know.
little ways.
Until you get into a crevasse.
That's right.
I laughed really hard at a video that I've seen on the internet that it's a teacher and she looks right at the camera and she says, "Kids, we'd never ask you to do something that we won't do ourselves." Have y'all seen this? And she's got like her belay gear. She's gonna do like rope climbing at some kind of team building exercise. And the guy that's supposed to be in charge of like catching
he's
her,
not paying attention.
He's talking
Yeah.
to somebody like getting his water bottle, and she's like belay, and she just dives, and he's not paying it, and she face plants the ground, and she's.
Got him choked up.
The guy looks up.
Sure you don't have COVID?
Says the guy looks like, "Oh, I didn't know you were going."
It hurts. Though.
I mean,
Well, I mean, it's just like if you just jump straight out right here and just land.
she had full
landed.
trust that he was about
Yeah.
to catch her, and she
Like
just
belly flopping on a hard floor.
Everything we do, you have to trust another person. You know?
That's right. We trust you to edit this thing.
I mean, just like driving,
Some-
you're trusting all those people you're coming in contact with.
idiots.
That gets intimidating. Sometimes you think about all those other people out there on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I think it's a very bad trait of mine. I just think I'm a superior driver than everybody else around me at most of the time.
Is that right?
I think it's just because of the stupidity of people around me, especially in our area. People cut you off all the time or do random things, pass you in a turning lane or pass you in a double line. I just think I'm a superior
You're
driver.
superior because
I don't do all that
You do
stuff.
everything right.
I don't do everything right. I speed, clearly. I had got pulled over 3 times in one day.
I only know about 2 about them.
It was two, not 3. Sorry. I was just trying to make the story good.
Yeah, that'll do it when you lie about the story. That makes it better, right?
That's called the internet. And Katy Perry's Space Adventures, probably.
I do feel sorry for the folks. Like if they genuinely just meant good, and they're getting trashed. I do feel sorry for that part of it, you know. So
Who's meaning good?
if any, I don't know any of their motives. I'm saying,
Oh.
there's some of them that may have just really thought, hey, we can bring awareness to something. We'll help out with this.
What was that something, though?
Daisies can't survive in space.
I don't know what they were trying to bring. Women's rights, I guess, is what the goal was for some of them, wasn't it?
Well, Katy Perry's daughter's named Daisy, and that's why she took that Daisy.
Is it really?
Yeah.
My wife cracks me up when it comes to women's rights. Her and a couple other ladies here at the church that we all hang out at and attend and have different friends. Is in our friend group that they were just talking one day about women's rights. They're like, who in the world like came up with women's rights? Why do I have to go to work every day thanks to these people? Like, I could just be at home, like washing dishes, doing stuff I already do. And just staying at home. But now I have to go to work every day because the stupid women drives. It's not fair.
You got to watch what you fight for.
It cracked me up.
Yeah. That's funny. Oh, my goodness.
All right. That's all I brought to the table today, Jody.
That's it?
That's it.
Did you bring anything?
Brought me.
Did you?
I didn't want to be a table because Josh hit the table so many times a day.
I did. I beat this thing up. In episode 91 and 92.
2 whole episodes of beating the table.
2 episodes.
2 episodes.
Can we end?
Can we end?
Can we end?
Please.
Goodbye.
Listen to our next episode when you might hear Spencer say
Goodbye.
goodbye.
Get out of here.
Oh.